Hello. So we are ready tonight. We're set up and I am ready to start. Oh, let's turn that off though. There we go. Hi, everybody. Okay, so we are going to continue on part 6. Pretty exciting. We are getting to the end. I know, isn't that one cute? I just love the watercoloring. So tonight, I won't get started yet because I know I am starting just a little bit early. I wanted everybody to have a chance to find us. So tonight we're going to finish up here. And no, I did not get that done, but we're okay. I'll have time before we come back to decorate. And we are going to be working on this. And can't remember. No, good. Okay, mine is not on there permanent, which is very good because it was crooked. And I do want to fix that. Well, hi, Cheryl. So we are going to be working on this. I did get my papers cut for this one. Then if you remember for the, grab a hold of it, for this one, you're just going to get out that really cute candy cane. And they were quiet, so I went live and there she starts. Okay, and then remember this is that cut apart sheet. Oops, and you're going to cut from that to get your cute little house. So take your header off, and then I just cut my 4 7/8. If you want, you can take some of this off because you'll want to adjust it. This is 6 inches. So if you actually just cut this down the center at 6, it'll be like so. And then I would take it from that edge, and that's how I got this nice journal spot, the cute house for journaling, and then you'll end up with the gold, the green, and the red. So it'll cut it off to here. Debbie, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. I'm so glad that you like it. It was such an easy one for me to create because it was just so fun. So that, and then I did show you the green, and I gave you those measurements. Excuse me. Hi, Diane. So that is what we're going to be working on tonight. We put him aside. Now, somebody, can you help me out here? I really need some help. If you got this original kit, this original kit right here, can you guys remind me? Like I said, I didn't go grab one from the warehouse. And then what happened was by the time I got over there to get one and I did not pull mine, well, all of them had shipped. And Michelle in the warehouse says, we don't have any more, Tammy. And I'm like, oh, great. Did you have, okay, you didn't get this collage, I believe. So someone can let me know. And then you didn't have these chipboards, I believe. But you would have been from that very first original kit. I know. I should know these things, right? Hi, Beth. Yeah, I should know, but I don't. Because I've got to show you some alternatives here. And it's driving me crazy. Oh, well, but I won't really worry about that till I get there, okay? Okay, let's see. Oh, we've got plenty of you here. Let's go ahead and get started. And how I feel is that no matter what happens, we're going to love it. Because we're just going to love it. Either paper is just a happy paper. So, my left-hand flap is the 5.5. So I did cut from my collage sheet. Let me show you here. I'm going to lay them down so we can, there we go. Take a look here. So from a 12 by 12, this collage sheet, I cut mine at 8.25. Hi, Jen, by 5 3/8. But do measure your length. If you cut a hair off, it's going to be like mine. So 8.25 by 5 3/8. This one is 8.25 by 4 7/8. And then same with the inside. So this was, if you'll just go through all your scraps, you should start getting scraps now. Yes, Suzette, the layered chipboard pieces, but I know they did run out of them. So this piece I cut at the 5 3/8. I may have to trim it by 8.25. And then I just took this piece, which I had left over, and it's 4 7/8 by 8.25. But I am going to cut it because if you look in your scraps, you're going to have some of these possibly left over. And I want this to be at the bottom. So I'll be cutting that as we're going. So we're going to go ahead and mat our flaps first. And I'll need to round my corners and ink my edges. And all those fun things. And this one I did round. I didn't do the squares. I did the rounding. And whoops. So I did the opposite again. It's 4 7/8 by 8.25. And it's the insides that need to be rounded. I won't, well, yeah, we'll go ahead and do our inside pieces. Again, this was left over, and if you don't quite have it with this, you can piece that 7/8 of an inch to the right hand side. It doesn't have to be one full sheet, but I am going to take 1/8 of an inch off. It is pretty close to my hinge there. Good evening, RJ. How are you doing? So we're going to much better fit. Okay, remember I had that little piece. So that's going to tell me what to cut off the bottom. So this measures a hair over 5 5/8. No, not 5 5. 1 5/8, and then it's 4 7/8 long. So I'm going to take from this piece that's 4 7/8 by 8.25. I'm going to take 1 3/4 off the bottom. And this will sit at the top. And we'll check our little bottom piece. And I do need to round off the bottom. And then I'll just have that little space of black. Your son is talking your ears out. Oh, Pokemon cards. I had that conversation with my grandkids on Sunday. Yes. And I was like, Pokemon cards. I have no idea, but I'm going to listen. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and let's do the insides. That's an inside. This is an outside. And my butt nerve is still screaming tonight, but not as bad. So if you see me fidgeting, I might have to get up a few times. I still am waiting for one of you to tell me what is the most amazing chair to sit in as we're working, because I got to find one. Yep, you just nod your head and say, yep, I totally know what you're saying, Heather. And growing up, my boys were into Pokemon cards, and they used to go play tournaments. But you know what? That was the good old days. We'd go take them on a Friday night. They'd be at remember the card shops playing their Pokemon tournaments. And it was wonderful. Yes. Who just said that? It only says Facebook. I am with you. Oh, Debbie. Yes, my hit. That's what's happening here. Kind of like, whoa, I don't know. It's time to soak in Epsom salts, I guess. I'm giving you all the information here. Oh, but I got to tell you something fun. Where my store is. Oh, hello, Marcy. Down the street. No, not down the street. There's my unit, and then the other end unit. Well, she's got her sign up. We have a yoga studio going in. And you know what? I think that it's so great. We've got I've got 2 units. So we've got Country Craft Creations, then our warehouse. Then we have a caramel popcorn. Then we have a realtor, and now we have yoga. And I will be visiting the yoga studio because we got to get some stretches going here. Hi, Froggy. We got to get some stretches going here. Hey, Carolyn. Oh, well, I'm excited to try it. She said that she will do a class. I said, you got to do a class for us old ladies. All I want is stretching. I don't want to hang upside down. I just want to stretch. And, you know, I ended up with a bigger gap here than I anticipated, which sometimes happens when you put your papers down. And if that bothers you, then let's see what else. So I've got some scraps here. And this is actually going on the cover. And I'm going to go ahead and cut myself. I'm going to go with a 5/8 of an inch piece. That's why it's always good to keep these until we're completely done. And that one was 4 7/8 wide. I'm not sure. Definitely not. So let's see what we have in my pile of things here. Nope. Okay, that's one I can always go back to. No worries. I might even take from a different one. Oh, see, that might even work. So we'll wait till the last. No rush. We don't want to make any rush decisions here. Oh, that's right, you guys. I guess Monday's a holiday, so there is no shipping. I don't pay attention to holidays, but Monday is a holiday, so it sounds like a lot of you might be home getting some extra craft days in. Yay. Oh, Heather, I think you have quite a few. Okay. Go ahead and ink our front covers. Well, Charlotte is on restricted from beds. She is now chewed up in the last 3 days 5 dog beds. I've had to sew them because we ain't buying new ones. And she's looking at me like, Mom, please. And I'm like, no, you're not having a bed. Yay, Heather, you guys are going to love. Sorry, I had a lot of pepper tonight. I made a pepper sauce for this pasta, and it was a lot of pepper. Daisy refuses to use a dog bed. Well, Wilbur loves a dog bed. The floor's too hard. But now, if you chew up that bed, you're in so much trouble. Ooh, no, what if I get lemon water in her eyes? Won't that burn her? And she does it when I'm not looking. We were away last night, came home. She chewed apart Wilbur's bed. Yeah, I ain't buying another one either right now. Except for Wilbur. I know, poor Wilbur. He's a baby. Okay, before I add, I just want to get this drying. So I need to remember I used a temporary on here. So I want to go ahead and get this bottom piece glued. Oh, spray the bed. Oh, okay. No, I haven't tried spraying the bed. That would not hurt her. No. No, she doesn't have separation anxiety. She has 10-month-old naughtyitis. And there she goes barking. She's a 10-month-old beagle. And you know what? We're never gone. somebody's always here, except for, well, once in a while. And like last night, naughty, naughty, she chewed the bed. Yeah, the bed would be okay. Hi, Michelle. Okay, that can dry. We don't want to glue the rest of it down. We want to do the inside little photo mat here. So like I said, I changed the size, but you guys wouldn't have really known any different than the original, except for the picture looks smaller. So now it's 7 by 7. And one thing I want to do, and you should have this also, we used it when we did the top over one more here. So I did do a double matting, and I'm going to use this, but you can use also a plain black if you want. And then I have this red, and we're going to cut it. It's not the right size. So I'm going to cut this first at 6 7/8 by 6 7/8. And the red to go in the center. So that's 6 7/8 by 6 7/8. And I want the red for the photo. I'm going to go 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. So I have a lot of variance between backgrounds. And right now I just got to trim 1/8 off because this cutter, I just can't tell where my marks are with the arm open. No, no, no. Don't you start. And then see, this will go on top. I'm going to trim the back piece a little bit. I really like that layered look. But I do want to take, let's see. So we did 6 7/8. So I'll just remove a 1/16 of an inch, just a little bit. Hi, Linda. And our red, I'm not adjusting the red. It's fine. Just seems too much on the side. You know how it just doesn't look right? That looks better to me. It has to look symmetrical, or it drives me crazy. There are some of this one available. And this one, though, has turned out to be, this is the Holiday Life. This one has kind of turned out to be my favorite. I absolutely love it. So yes, I have the Holiday Life. If you are just watching, it's just adorable. And this is the same tutorial. I do just show the matting, and then the matting photos are also available on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations Facebook. And I mean, I love this one. Don't get me wrong, but I really like that one. And it's probably because I don't usually gravitate to that style of paper. I'm more clean, but I really love it. We'll put the back piece down first. Then our centerpiece. Well, hi, Monica. Oh, I'm glad you made it. I know a lot of you might be out there saying, why are we doing a December daily in February? Well, we're almost done with it, but the tutorials are recorded so you can access them anytime. But we do it. This is for 2024. We do it so we're ready when February comes. And we don't want to have to be making the album when we want to be enjoying the time, right? And let me show you here. When I did our little slider, I didn't do any decorating. Remember, we used a cut apart sheet back here. So it was pretty, it has a lot of different colors. It's pretty well ornate, decorated, good to go. But this one, we've got a lot of red. We've got some plain. So this is where I want you to grab your sticker sheets. And we are going to do a little brightening up of this. And one thing that I did use was this one. Yes. Let me just add it. You think I didn't remember. So it was this one. And what I want you to do is you're going to cut this in half. Because one will sit at the top and we're bringing one over to the corner. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for joining us. And I'm just going to tuck that so it's flush. Oh, I love them. And, oh, you're welcome, Kelly. Also, thank you. I love the domed ones. I love them all. I love the fact that I made this whole album and we're not flaking. They're really awesome. No, I didn't just temporary that. Oh, goodness. You know what I did? I need to glue mine down. But I was thinking, they shouldn't tuck that easy, but if you remember, I didn't quite glue mine down. Okay. So if you didn't quite glue yours down like me, You notice you never go to the very edge. So you always have room to tuck like I did. Make sure. I had a feeling something felt a little wonky. There we go. I gotta remember to check that. Monica, I know. Did you cut them into? I cut them into fours. So I cut in half, and then I cut in half. I cut them in fours, and then when you do throw them in the laundry, you got to cut the strings. But I'll tell you what, super nice, super nice. Okay. Now I know it is stuck down. We want to also add some embellishments here. And on the original one, I did use this Santa Claus that says Rush. And if you want to add him to something and then fussy cut around it and leave part of it open, or you can just use your black cardstock. But I'm going to use this. You don't have to. You can just glue it right on. But if you're wanting to make sure your photo slides down, or you can just remove the sticky with your sticker, you know, the powder that takes the sticky off the back. You can do that. No, the green one does not become permanent after a while at all. It's the green tape gun. Nope. So you do have to watch that you don't leave it down though, because it will come loose after a while. Yeah, it's definitely not a permanent. It's not made to be permanent, but it's great for designing and not knowing where you want to put stuff. So if you hop on the website and just get, I would get it in green, and then you can get the refills. And it comes, now you can also get the red tape gun, but the refills are what's colored. And the Grand Runner, this is the repositional. The red one is our permanent, but don't use it on your albums. You guys, you'll be sad. It's permanent, but it's not permanent enough for a mini album. And it's the white permanent. And you just switch them like this. Okay. And your gun, this thing doesn't even weigh it doesn't even weigh an ounce. And even with the tape runner in there, it's so lightweight. There is nothing to wind. You just snap and go. You actually save money because you're not buying those rolls that you're having to wrap and having to, you guys all know how it goes. And then you end up, if you're like me, you throw it out the back window and your husband comes out and says, "Why is your tape gun laying in the yard?" This was years ago. Just because I'm done with it. And it's heavy, it's bulky, and I'm tired of looking for refills. And I never would get through a refill before it would break. And I'm like, I'm done. It's art glitter glue. Art glitter glue and score tape. And now this. We want crafting fun. Yes, Beth, it's our magical tape runner. And we want to have fun crafting. We don't want to be agitated. And sometimes that happens. But isn't that pretty with him behind there on black? Look at that. It just gives it that finished look. And we're going to ink those edges and even give it more of a finish. So if you're using the other one, you can use one, the Holiday Life, you can use one of your ephemeras. But now I will just add some adhesive at the very bottom. Not a lot. And when you want to add your photo, now it will sit back there and it will look very pretty. So let's make sure that's dry. We're going to go ahead and grab this guy. I've already done the glue on the bottom. Oh, and so if you don't want that there, you can glue over it, but you just wipe it off. I don't know if you guys can see where the temporary is. Just wipe it off. Amazing stuff. You're going to love it. So I'm now going to take, let me show you, this through, close the door, and we already did our folds. There we go. Because now we are going to attach this together, and we have our matting. So we now have it a little bit loose. And again, you need to be able to slide. So don't make it tight. Okay. But we need it straight. And then when I glue, I'm staying an eighth of an inch away from the fold. You just don't want it to get on the flap, and you don't want it too tight. And see it, mine kind of bows, and that's what you want. This is 1 inch. And I'm just going to trim that on mine. And I want you to measure yours because it may be a little bit different than mine. So mine's 8.5. And on the original one, I just used some leftover reds. So we've got plenty of leftover pieces that you can use here. And see, I just keep piling them in here. That's our scraps as we were going. So see, I have a green one from what we did. Well, for the cover. Actually, I have that one, but that's the holiday life. Okay, here we go. Here's the darker red that I'm looking for that we used in our book. Had the polka dots on the back. Perfect. Because I do want a solid red. Looking for my cutter. Okay. Let's see somebody out there who got the very, very first, because I don't think I saw the comment, who got one of the very first Santa kits that had, tell me if it had the chipboard. You have the little chipboard pieces that looked like this. I cannot remember. It's been so long ago. It's been like 4 months. Cannot remember if they ran out of these in our first run. Did anybody get these with their kit? The chipboards. So I kind of need to know going forward. But I'm going to go ahead and mat this. I don't think anybody got them, but I need to double check with you. Oh, Jean. Okay, so the first run did. So after we mat this, the first run, if you had the very, very first run, you had these chipboards. And all I did was I glued it down the middle and attached it. So I used this one. I used the postcard. Now, if you did not have this, I'll show you. Hi, Bonnie. I'm going to show you what I did different. So on here, you'll use this darling one. And it's just glued. Just put the glue down the center, okay? Now, if you are doing the holiday life, we're going to do, this was the layered chipboard piece. So what I'm going to do is show this. I'm going to create this with my black cardstock, and I'm going to use some matting in the center, and I'm actually going to use one of the sticker sheets to show you if you did not get those, or you can also use your numbers. You could put a picture there. Okay, so those then that got the chipboard cluster, you know what to do. Okay, we're going to cut this at 7/8 of an inch, and I use the plaid on the holiday life. And then I'll cut this at 8 3/8 for mine. Remember, I want you to measure yours. And I have a seam up here at the top. So that's one thing I want to cover. I can see the seam there, but there's really nothing we can, well, we could have and then wind it through, but it might get stuck. So we're just going to make sure we make our card to fit over there, and it will camouflage that. Hi, Mary. I got to check on things for a minute to make sure. Okay, she's sound asleep. Make sure she's not chewing up another bed. Okay, so if you have your chipboard pieces, you can just put those down. And I think I just found what I was looking for. Sorry, guys, I'm right here. I was just okay. I'm just struggling with looking for all my pieces. All right, let's get into our scraps. And I don't know how that ended up here. That's for my cover. So I'm going to grab this. And the other one, I used just my base color cardstock. And, okay, let's go through our scraps. It's scrap time. Oh, you know what? It's called Throw It On because it's comfortable and warm. It's not really cold, but it's wet and damp. So I needed something a little warm. I didn't know you could see that. Okay, I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4. I'm going to measure. Okay, we need 3 1/4, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So now we're going to go 3 1/4, but you can go bigger. That's permanent. I mean, we don't move it. So, and then just something for the back, more of a background that you could put well, we're not going to put a picture, but it's 3 by 4. So you could also use a cut apart sheet. And I'm doing this in case you don't have your Oh, chipboard pieces. You can use your ephemera pieces. I do have that. And I do have, oh, goody. I'm so, okay. I think it was some of the ephemera pieces. Nope, you have these, I do believe. And I did end up doing a lot of tucking of these in pockets because they're so pretty not to waste. But just in case, a couple of things. You could use the number 25 from here. Really, really cute. Here he is. But he's the one I want to use. You run out of the black cardstock. Wait a minute, did you run out of the black artisan or you run out of this one? Now they did run out of some of this. You may have just the black or the black polka dots. Like I said, Simple Stories, when they were in the middle of making kits, apparently they didn't account for some big orders that they got along with mine. But I do believe we have more in this in the store. And so I was extremely, extremely upset. But what can you do? Absolutely nothing. So I do want to trim. I'm going to trim the white off of him. Oh, you ran out of black artisan on page 4. Julie, did you order 35 to 40 sheets of cardstock? Because for this album, you need 34 to 40 sheets. But you shouldn't run out if you have a pack and a half. Because we definitely are cutting a lot of our scraps from cutting our pages. So I just took that white border off since I have white behind him. Yeah, and there was no black in the kit. Look how cute. And as much as part of me wants to pop him up on foam, I'm not going to because getting caught. It happens. Oh, you got some more? Okay, good. You know what? It's like a little black dress in our closet. We should always have an extra. Even if we never wear it. We need to have that extra. Yeah, and I never put the cardstock in because you may want to use a different color. I used the green on the Holiday Life. Okay, I want to go ahead and round these corners to give it a more finished look. I'm only going to use the middle one. I don't want it to be quite as big. I'll have to re-ink those corners, but that's okay. Now, another fun thing to do when you're all done is to maybe take your nebula, and I have a lot more colors coming in of the glitter gel, and do his beard, see where the gold is, and use some of this. So I probably will do that, but I like to do it like the last thing at night, and then I let it sit overnight. Otherwise, it'll get smeared. I'm going to hop on to YouTube also to make sure I've had really good luck with my picture not going blurry. But I'm seeing some blurriness happening here. Oh, well, I'm glad you love it, Jean. You know what? It does. This is the one project, this and a wedding album that I do that definitely takes more cardstock. And I always try to tell you guys about what I use, but a good rule of thumb, just have 2 packs handy because you are going to make miscuts. I mean, we're human. Is it good on YouTube? Okay. Then we're going to put our beautiful Santa down. Oh, I can live with lagging. I can't live with blurry or unwatchable. You know, I've noticed on Thursdays there might be a lot of shows going on. I don't know. A lot of bandwidth being used because that's when I seem to have problems is on Thursdays. Isn't he cute? Okay. So I'm putting him more to the top because I want to cover that seam where I connected. So I'm just putting my fingers there and then I'm going to remove them. Then I know kind of where my glue needs to go. This is called the Tammy ruler. And again, it's not always accurate. He's so cute, you guys. Love it. And then if you've got the Holiday Life, you'll be able to use, you've got the brads. And on the bottom, I put the Keep Cozy. And then I put a green brad here. And then also, if you have, especially if you just did our birthday bash, you've got some black dots left. So you definitely can add those. I don't want to add them because they didn't come in your kit, but just to show you these things that are left over from our other kits, they're totally usable. But here I'm going to take it from the sticker sheet. Where's sticker sheet? Or, well, okay. We do use a lot of these because we want the star for our tree. We're going to use quite a bit of these. So you can either wait because you will have a few left that you might want to decorate here if you don't want to use a sticker. But I want to use a sticker because it's flat and I just don't want it to catch on the stuff that's going to be over here, if that makes sense. So I'm going to just take one of the hollies to brighten that up. And it does stick over a little bit unless you turn it. So we'll just turn it a little bit sideways. And then we have these adorable little hearts that a lot of times we don't even see or pay attention to. I don't know how many times I've overlooked at those. I'm just going to pop one up here. And so now see, when you open this, one thing that I did put over on the side is Rush Time. And it's going to be in our ephemera pack here. And on the original, it just depends on how you cut. So I did put down, I cut out some of the leftover tags and layered them here. And then that's why when you make a prototype, you're like, I don't know if I really like it. But if you do, I just cut out 3 and layered them. And those are just from the sticker sheet. This was just a real bare spot I felt. So I put the word Rush. From our ephemera pack. And again, I think it just kind of breaks that up. And then the time I can put, actually I could put the date, or, you know, I would put the time December 24th at 12:01 or something, just something fun, nostalgic to go in there, or nothing. I'm kind of a Jean. I do like the big albums. Okay, hold on. Let me check my settings, see if we can't change something here. Okay, let's try that for a minute. Let's see how that goes. And let me just close a few more windows here. Okay, let's see how that looks. Now, when I pull that over, see it holds it shut. And we'll just slide that over. So on this one, I'm going to just leave. I'm going to leave that. All right, let me get up another screen. So how's the video doing now for you guys on YouTube or Facebook? You know, it's crazy on my phone. It looks great. Okay, let's try that. Still has a lag. Oh, well, I wasn't moving. So, yeah, I wasn't moving. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of our back page. When we go back through decorating, trust me, we'll find spots that we want to add more fun stuff to. And once again, that's where you're going to put that chipboard. So let's do the inside front cover. Inside front cover is actually deceiving because we have all this ephemera. And then we have, so this doily is half of a doily. Ooh, that is a terrible lag. Then we have half of a doily that I put in here. And come on, Mr. Doily. Where's my white package? Here it is. So there are actually a kind of a cute thing. So what I'm going to do is pull that out to make sure we have it ready. double checking where to have you put. Okay, the other chipboards were there. Used it up there. Okay. So our front cover, we're going to create this pocket. And again, I'm going to use basically straps. You can't really see it Tematic. That's the nice thing. And then these were made, our tags are made from all of those 3. Hi, Katie. 3.5 pieces we have left from cutting our pockets. These were the 12, and these were the ones when I said score in half. So you will be able to go back. I won't do those on camera, and you can make as many as you want, and they will fit in all of these spaces. And then when it came to my foam squares or foam chipboard thingies, I did take the sticky off the back. Can you tell us what pages to keep out? Kimberly, yes, I had done that in the very first video, but let me show you which ones they were. So your front cover is one of the green, well, this is if you want to triple mat. You had a green plaid or a green polka dot. We used the back side. So it'll be easier here. Let me show you, because I've got some alternatives. So I'm going to show you that really quick before we continue with the inside cover. And then I want to show you the Holiday Life. So the Holiday Life, I did use a piece of red that was left over. Again, these are leftover ephemera pieces. My little birdie. And then we used the plaid. So Holiday Life, you need to keep that out. And then your red, and these are pieces and parts. So I used, I'll have to show you. So we used a green polka dot, and I'll give you those measurements. We used a stripe there and some plaid. But so if you have the Vintage Santa, and I believe it was like in the first video when I mentioned the pieces we used, but I did change it because I had cut into that black one that I just used. So this time I'm going to use from my extra sheets on this Vintage Santa, and everybody got these extras. And I'll give you the measurements. It's going to go down. Then I have the red. And again, this takes a lot. You can skip any of these. From the green. Now, if you have the 6x8 paper pad, like I said, we talked about this before. There's a couple that did and a couple did not. This is from the 6x8 paper pad. And all I did was cut this down to 7 inches. That's going to go down here. Now, if you did not have the 6x8 paper pad, then I'm going to be using, and I'm going to do the cover with this one to show you. It's from this tag piece, which really, unless you cut up your tags, you can't use it. But I thought, wow, that looks pretty good. So see, it's not really far off when you consider it. So I'm going to use that. And it'll be 7 inches long and 6 inches wide, just like I would do my 6x8 paper pad. And then I had this little piece left over. So actually, I'm just going to then layer that on top, kind of just to give it this look. Because I know that was the 6x8 paper pad was one that they had ran out of. So that will be how I layer this one. And see, I've had these from the beginning because we took these out first. So I'm going to set those aside. And then we're going to do that inside front cover. That's not the finished one. Okay, inside front cover. Cannot lose that. Has Oh, sorry. Everything just goes flying. Okay. So my inside front cover has the collage sheet inside of this one. And my inside front cover for the Holiday Life was plaid with red behind it. And you don't have to double mat any of this. It will still look beautiful without the double matting. So if you found that you didn't have what you needed, you that maybe used more, that happens when we're cutting because we all cut different. I don't want you to beat yourself up because you could also get a piece of red out of your stash. Or you can just use this, which is what I'm going to do to show you. It's going to still look just as amazing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one then. Okay, if you're going to have a matting behind there, well, see, you may have gotten a red polka dot or you may have gotten the red plaid. You had 6 pieces. I'm going to cut this at 8 7/8. So I am going to go ahead and put this behind. And I'm going to cut 8 7/8. And then we're going to cut this one at 8 1/2 by 8 1/2. I think I'll go this way. Okay. Or you can just cut your green one at 8 7/8 by 8 7/8. Go ahead and ink those edges. Oh, good. YouTube's doing better. Okay. But if you've noticed, guys, it is Thursday. Thursday seems to be our challenge. But you know what? We are going to be, I don't know, we're going to be pretty much done. But we're going to be coming back Tuesday because we're going to do our, hi, Rena. We're going to be doing our, it's like the finishing work, you know, when they come into a house and do all the finishing work. So that's going to be Tuesday, the 20th. And then we're done. We're done. We've made good time with this little book. Well, it's not a little book. It's a big book. And then it's going to look beautiful sitting on the shelf in your craft room, ready to go on December 1st. Actually, I mentioned this before. I get mine going for Thanksgiving. Oh, goodness. We're having some glue issues. Okay. Nope. Make sure our books go in the right direction. Put our matting down, and then we'll create our pocket. Okay, I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to do that little pocket. So we're done there. Because we bypassed that, so I got to go back to page 2. Page 2? Yep, front inside cover. So if you have this, your front inside cover, and the part that says 2 booklets that are 3.5 by 12, those are those extra pieces. So don't cut anything new. You have those from creating your pages. You're gonna have a lot of those 3.5-inch pieces. Right now, we just need a 4 by 8, and yeah, you should have all of these smaller pieces and not have to cut a new one. And we're going to score. This is just a normal little pocket. That is 4 inches wide and 8 inches long. And we want the 8 inches at the top of our scoreboard, and we're going to score it 1/2 inch. We're going to turn to the 4 inch at the top of our scoreboard, and let's score it 1/2 inch. And back to the 8 inches across the top of the scoreboard, and we'll score it 1/2 inch. That one is an easy one. You don't have to worry about checking the fit because it is smaller than the page. And it's a nice little spot just to tuck in those photo booklets. And I'll just miter those corners so nothing's sticking out where we don't want it. Oh, it was dinner time. Mine eat so early, but they eat so early in the morning. So sometimes I worry that they get hungry at night. Mine eat at 4 in the afternoon. And you're not going to get them to wait longer either. When it's 4 o'clock, Wilbur throws that bowl down the stairs. Okay. I'm just going to make sure everything's nice and neat and tucked in. And so, a couple of things. You can put this actually anywhere you want. I will put mine down and then give you a measurement from the bottom of my book to where the bottom of my pocket is, because I just eyeball it. Now that won't be good. I have a puppy. I got glue everywhere. I have a puppy, remember? She's 7 o'clock. She says, feed me now. Okay, so mine is 1 1 3/4. The bottom of my pocket from the bottom of my book is 1 3/4 inches. But again, you can put it where you think it looks good. And we're going to cover a lot of this up. So on the Holiday Life, again, it's red. And it's going to be 3 3/8 by 6 7/8 long. And it'll be the red. And then I've got that extra doily piece that I stuck underneath there. Now for this one, I did use, again, you've got scraps. These are 4 different scraps. I used this, basically what I did was just take pieces and parts like this and put them together. For this one, we have this nice polka dot left. I thought that will look really cool. I am still going to take, and I'm going to be cutting some of our leftovers like this one. We've got some cool leftover pieces that will break up all of these polka dots and just give it a little bit more interest. So I'm going to first cut this at 6 7/8 and 3 3/8. So this is where we're going to use up those little pieces or not, because then we are going to do the matting, and the matting definitely takes up a lot of this. It just kind of like becomes our like little background. So I'm not even going to really, I'm just going to bring it into the center here. I'll give you those measurements and it'll just give us a little bit more kind of a break up there, or you can make these smaller. Let's see, what have we, oh, we have, so I am going to take off some of this white and I'm going to cut this at 6 inches because I don't need it the whole length. Again, you're just going to make this so it looks aesthetically like pleasing to you. Oh, so let me show you this. Yeah, we'll glue this down for instance. So I've got that. I did trim away this so I can layer this on top and even make it a little bit shorter, or I can bring it to the edge. Oh, look. And then we've got some red plaid. We don't even need this. You just never know what you're going to end up with. And there goes my bone folder. All right, let's let me throw some more tools at you. All right, let's get some inking done here. And so this little piece came out to be 1 1/8 wide. And remember, I just cut it at 6. That looks crooked. But you know, it always does with these kind of like chevron patterns. Okay. And then remember, I mean, we have time. So if you're stuck on somewhere and you're not liking the matting and you need to play with it more, don't worry about putting the matting down when I do. So I'm just going to bring this down about 2/3 of the way. And just going to overlap that green. So some of the wording shows. Again, you're not even going to see this on the left-hand side, so I'm just going to cut it off, glue it down, and then we'll get out our ephemera pieces. Oh, okay. I know. Oh, I got to show you guys something because I'll show you when we get there. I know I jump ahead a lot. Okay, doily. Now the one I'm using, it's the brown one. You guys on this one have white. I have a brown because we sent out all of the white ones. But I did cut this in half. And then this is where we're going to need this cut apart that says Deck the Halls. So I'm just going, oh, I need him for the cover. So let me cut that off. Okay. Okay. So I have my Deck the Halls, and it will end up hanging off of the pocket. And we're going to get into these little pieces here. Okay. And we want the due date. I'm going to grunge this up. I do grunge that up. And then I've got the bingo card. Our birdie. Bring that down to our due date. And see, I'll be honest with you, it's very possible you might find that we're going to move the doily because you don't like exactly where it fits. Then there was a green. Let's get into here. And this is left over. So I'm going to cut this green, this beautiful green one out from our tags. And this is such a fun collection because when you end up with things like this, I mean, this is another great border strip you can use. And let's just go ahead and, oh, and did you guys, well, if you were on the birthday bash, Tiffany shows how you take a square punch and you cut off those corners. Pretty cool. So we're going to put him out. Let me just get some layering here done, and then we are definitely going to grunge it up with our inks. And how do you just have something and lose it? You know, the cut apart I just did? Oh, goodness. Is it, oh, it's underneath where it doesn't belong. So my first layer is actually going to be my due date card, which we're going to kind of grunge up with ink. I have the pretty green. Love the green. Bring that down, bring that up. Kind of show the bird this time. It's kind of hard not to cover up the birdie, but I'm going to really try. There we go. Let's get some of that green showing. We have a few more things that we're going to add. Oh, good night, Susan. Let's go ahead and add either your white. So the main thing will be just to play with this. Just move it around, you know, until you get a look that you like. And it's going to be different than mine, and it's going to be different every single time that you put one of these together, because they're just not the same. And then also I had stuck in the original book all these little tickets and tags into the pockets, because they'll be fun to add to the photos. But let's go ahead with our ink. And oh, I need to show you on the other one. So I'm going to add a little ink there. Okay. So here I took the ephemera that was Christmas Wishes. And then again, this is the one photo tag, or the from your tag sheet that has that green. And back here was just a 4x4 piece of leftover cut apart paper. Let me bring this up closer. All I did was pick one I liked from the 4x4s. Around the corners, I put my doily down here at the bottom instead of at the top. Happy holidays from your ephemera pack. And then from you had the breads. So we have a little red one, the holly jolly, and the green. This one has the little greenhouse and the bird. The bird came off of your they're like the faux brads, but they do call them brads. They're sticky brads. And then you have this from the ephemera pack. Then you're just going to layer it how it looks pleasing. This is from the foam stickers, the Mary, and it actually is on the Mary and the house. So the house is going to come from your brads. And it's that way. So we can put a picture under there, but be careful. No, this is not. That's a foam. That's a foam sticker. This is a foam sticker. And all together is a foam sticker. So I'm going to put Mary down first. And it won't go in all the way. And that was the whole intention, to give it more of a layered look. So it looks like there's a lot going on there. Hi, Tiffany. Good night. again with your doily on this one, so you can put it down here. It can go anywhere that it's the whole basic thing was I wanted to fill up the space so it looked like it was all together. And I did, you know, kind of grunge this up for here. I didn't grungy up the other one. And on these, you know, I do a lot of spot gluing. I'll show you what I do. And cut. If and you feel that anything's too big for what you're doing, just cut it. Okay. So I'm going to put everything down again. And I like that. So what I'm going to do is leave that down. I like that side too. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. So by spot gluing, so I just kind of do the spot gluing, and now I'll put this down. Or you can call it anything you like. Or sometimes I'll just lift it up and squirt some glue under there. And that's one thing you don't want to do if you're extending over your pocket is get glue on the top. But I caught that. So you'll just wipe that off. And we're going to stick some paper back there just for safety. Kind of bend my corner. And next is going to be our bingo card. Like I mentioned, it's not going to go back on the same way. And that's okay. And get our birdie to show a little bit more. Okay, so before I put this down, actually, see, I like the way that came out, but do I want? Yes, I do. So let's see. So we're going to add some adhesive. If you're putting it more on your pocket, you'll add adhesive to the back. Now mine's not going down into the pocket. It's going on to the back of these tags at the top of my pocket. So I'm just going to pop that back there again, just so no glue gets on my page. Then my Deck the Halls. I think we'll bring this over to the left this time. Otherwise, we're going to, well, not really. Okay. Well, you decide where you like it. I'm going to have it just a little bit over on the bird. And then I will show you also the family or the holiday life one here in just a second. Now the fun. From our sticker sheet, right here at the top, I added ho, ho, ho. And going to fill in that area. And then if you want, you have some extra black twine. You could even make a bow with your black twine and just glue it right there. Or you can still punch a hole and tie some of the black twine left over from your kit if you want to. And then we want to add from our foam stickers. So it's time that we get to open these fun things. Oh, Heather, no, I'm not, but thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And as long as I have you guys to pay attention to what I'm doing, we're good. I love it. So well, the Santa that I use, I call him our baby face Santa because look at him. He's so adorable. So baby face Santa. I'm going to make him permanent. See, so you pretty much, you still have to mat your pocket, but you are doing a lot of covering up. Then we want ho, ho, ho. Where's our ho, ho, ho? Right there. Because that's just too cute. And we're sticking, there we go. No. There goes Homer. Okay. Now, inside my pocket, and a lot of times I use my pockets. I've shown that where I put my loose photos, but this is deceiving because it looks like there's a really big pocket. So again, like I mentioned, your airmail, which is in your tag that we just opened, but you can stick a lot of them in here. And then I just went through, this was a cut apart sheet on the 3.5 by 6. So cut some 3.5 by 6, leave some 3.5 by 12. Again, this is from your foam stickers, and take the back off with your powder. And then just adhere so it sticks over the top. Oh, this is the one that opens, sorry. And then you can go in with all your scraps and just really fill it up. So I will take those out of the original and pop them in here for now. And like I said, I won't do those on camera because you'll have plenty of stuff left over that you can just go back and play with right there. Okay. So we got that cover, back cover, and the inside cover. Now I'm going to I have to put these guys in a safekeeping. We're going to go ahead and do the matting on the front cover. We're going to still need these. And then I have to do a substitute for you because there was one of the pieces they ran out of at Simple Stories. But that's okay because we're going to make it look fabulous. So we can go ahead now and let's go over the pieces that I did for the cover again. But I want to go over this one more time just so you guys can see the ephemera pieces, the Christmas wishes. Oh, one thing I did, because it was just too plain, I took a border punch to the bottom. So I took the border punch and I punched the bottom of that tag just to give it a little more dimension, different look there. So that one is the inside cover. And okay, so I want to give you the measurements on the Holiday Life. So the back red piece is the plain black from your polka dot, and it does measure 8 7/8 by 8 7/8. No. And then see this green polka dot? It was, you probably will have a piece. It is 4 inches. So it is 4 inches wide and 4 inches wide and 8 3/8 4, and then 8 3/8. Then you have a 1 inch, and that was that winter floral. It's the same as this one right here. And then we have a plaid piece. And again, it is going to be 4 inches by 8 3/8. And then this strip right here that we cut 1 inch is what gaps that, because you are going to have a gap. So that was the gap. And then I took a piece of the candy cane. Well, actually, this is your 6x8 paper pad. And I cut it down to 7 3/4. So just take 1/4 of an inch off your length. So 7 3/4 by 6. The doily is back there. And that is your matting sizes. Then the red, which you'll have the other piece left when you cut a 12 by 12, is 3.5 by 8 7/8. The green polka dot is 3 inches by 8.5. And then I just used the second sheet of this, and it's 8 7/8 by 8 7/8. Or you can do the piecing and parting. Okay, this guy. Like I said, it has a lot of layers, but that's up to you. That is up to you. So my green layer, is 8 7/8 by 8 7/8. This is the ruler layer, or you can use this black, the Airmail. Either one is fine. This is what I used on the original. But I grabbed this one and cut it, and I'm like, I'm not cutting another sheet of paper. We're going to use this one. But it's 8 3/8 by 8 3/8. Red. Comes out to be 8 by 8. And you might have it in plaid or polka dot. Now, again, this was one of the scraps from those extra sheets. If you happen, maybe you don't have a whole one, then there was the, oh goodness, it had the Santa Claus, or it has the other snowman with the poinsettia, and it comes out to be 7.5 by 7.5. And if you have the 6x8 paper pad, I wish they'd put this one in the collection. I loved that, but it's on the 6x8. So this is 6 inches, and I took an inch off. It's 6 by 7. If you do not have the 6x8 paper pad, most of you do, then I'm going to use this. So I am going to use this just to kind of give you a little bit of a different look tonight. Hey, Julie, give Teddy a big hug for me. And then this was a scrap piece. That's 2.5. And you really don't even have to use it. I'm going to layer it here. But I was really thinking of, I'm going to take a little bit of, I think, of the red off maybe. Or maybe not. Let's see. No, I think I'll just tuck it in. And it only measures 6 inches. I found it was just laying there, so I didn't cut it. You might even have one like this if you want to layer. Or you don't have to if you want to just leave it more the other way. Okay. And then I have that other half of my doily. So one thing on here is that chipboard piece. And we don't have that in some of the kits. So I'm going to use this Season's Greetings instead. And don't feel bad because I don't have it either. We made all the kits and they were like, we don't have any more of these. I'm like, oh, good, great. Plus, they didn't have any more of this ephemera, which again, I was like, this is not good. The project's made. And they're like, we're so sorry and we're not going to make more. Of course you're not. Of course they're not, but that's okay. Oh, yeah. Show him that I'm on here. Show him that Grandma's here. And I know it's been a crazy busy week. Tell him I'm so sorry. Yeah, our little grandson, he probably think I disappeared. Okay, we've got a few choices here because we don't use those. And I didn't like remake the cover beforehand because like I said, I didn't even know this till after the fact. So we just do not have this piece, but we do have also, so we have some other things. This one is just an adorable tag. So I just want to show you some alternatives. And I'm going to cut this one because this one I think it makes a really nice alternative. But I'll tell you what, next year, well, no, this year, for next year's, we're not waiting. We're just ordering it all, tons of it. So when it goes on sale, you guys need to grab it because we don't want this to happen again. Okay, now this is also more in size. See of that? And I'll back it. I'm going to back it in some black. And then we had that little like special delivery that came out of the other one. So my thoughts were we could also, so we're kind of just making this as we go. Let's go ahead and move things over. That I do want there. Actually, let's bring him in. Over. I really do like this fragile. So I want to, I'm going to trim it close to the fragile. I'm going to cut it up the middle and then corner to corner. We don't want to cover our Santa. He's too adorable, so we can just layer that there then. Or you can definitely use airmail if you wanted to bring that there. I do like the fragile don't crush. It just looks really, really cute. Or you've got your bigger Santa if you want to have him. Kind of like in the smaller, I'm going to layer him with some black cardstock and to give it more of a, what do you call it? Vintage look. And then you have, here it is. Oh, thank you. I hope so, Pam. I hope you guys are liking the alternatives here. So we have this, but we don't need it. You're going to, you have kind of different, some different burlaps. Oh, it all comes so different because it is weird. Burlap is weird. What can I say? So we're going to just pull some strings out, make it a little more hairy. I'm going to, we could even put this on chipboard, but It definitely is going to be popped up. We're going to be popping this up on foam. It's got to be popped up on foam. And then we've got, I think that's what I'm going to go with. And as it more comes together, you guys will see we're going to have the Christmas memories. It's just going to be so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and put these guys back that I'm not using, so we don't lose them. And we got to get out the ink for this. So here is the other look underneath there. So you have more of that whitish color. And so if you have your 6x8, you can use it. But like I said, I just wanted to make sure everybody knows that there are options. Okay, I'm going to start inking all these babies. We're going to glue these together and put them on our book. And then that's where we're going to leave, where I'm leaving you till Tuesday. And then you'll be able to get all caught up and we can start decorating. Because that's the fun part. With the matting all done, and well, we're going to mat the hinge because I want to show you how I did that. And we're going to mat the back cover tonight. Yes, I'll show you that spine, Carolyn. Let me just go ahead and ink these. So the spine is going to be, we piece it with 3/4 inch strips. And I am going a little bit heavier on here than I normally would. So I kind of really got it on there because I want it to look like a separation. This one I don't want as heavy. Yes, I will after I get all this inking done. Okay, I want to ink our little pieces. Now I'm going to put mine all in this bag. Okay, he's a little bit on the light side for me. So I want to leave him here for just a second. And I'm not going to re-dab my inker thing. Let me grab him. These are my instructions, so that'll be great. Like I said, he's a little bit lighter than I want. And see, the original one looked kind of already like that. We're just going to do the kind of the outsides of his beard. Whole idea was that it was to look like a tag, that an old shipping tag type thing. Hi, gal. Okay. Now he doesn't look so pinkish to me. He looked just looked too, he looked too new. So he was more that color. Now he looks a little more dirty and stepped on. There we go. Happy with that. Okay, so those will be for Monday. That aside. Now, I want to glue these guys together. I like to glue them before I put them down. Then we'll do the spine and we'll do the back. And again, this is where if you want to use your spacers, your little mini spacers, those will come in handy. You can do them just like if you were in the birthday box. So let me show you. Because some of you weren't there. For instance, your mini spacers are going to be a big help. Now, of course, it just depends on, it's going to help more with these bigger pieces. This one, we don't have as much room. So let me just put this one down. Well, I'd say that's a very ambitious goal, Annette. Okay, because this one we only had like that 1/8 of an inch. Well, it's about 1/4 of an inch, but not really, if that makes sense. Okay. Oh, I need my spatula. Yes, Nai, I know. Man, it goes by fast when we're crafting. Okay, my next one is going to be the red. Now, this is where actually my 1/2 inch will come in handy. So if you have your little 1/2 inch spacers, and it doesn't fit right up into it, but you'll see how it helps you kind of keep more of a straight, if that helps you guys. Because, let's see, your 1/2 inch might be even better. Yeah. And then you can pretty well keep it straight if you're uncomfortable. So play with your spacers, see if they work for you, because if they do, they're a great tool. We used them on our Doodlebug layout for the birthday bash box. And they're just a great tool. Oh, I need to glue this down. You know what I want to start doing with kits, and it just really occurred to me. I think I'm going to do your papers in different packages. Like I'll just put the sheets for the cover in a package. And it just occurred to me. I think that would be a big, big help. And you guys won't even have to go looking for your cover papers. So see, we're getting better. We're getting better. Okay. This one I will put down. And then we're going to put down our spine under our tree. Can you believe we're there? And I know you might be tempted to take this lid off and really squeeze it on. Try not to, because trust me, this will stick. This will stick. And if you get too much, you don't want your paper too wet. And our glitter glue, it doesn't take a lot. Okay, let's get those edges down first. Always get your edges down first. Just like that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You need to make sure that jelly is not going to ooze out. Okay, it's fine. So that is what we're going to do next. And our spine piece, I just want to read it so that I don't mess it up. Our chipboard's 3.5 by 9. So when you cut that front piece red, the front red piece, because it's 9, 11, 12. Hopefully you had that other piece left over that I just threw over here. And it might be from your plaid or it might be from your dots. Okay. We are going to cut that. You can use the green. Actually, you can use any of them that you want. So it's 8 and 7/8. Now I cut mine at 3.5. Well, I go to 3.5 and then just back up a hair because you want it to be about the same length. See, we're just going to slide that underneath our tree for just a moment. And you're going to notice, so I used strips. So I'm going to use 4 strips that I have figured out with the distance in between. And so these strips are 3/4 of an inch. And they're the same length as the spine. So we don't glue this down yet. We're going to take that off. And you need to now check. For instance, it's not long enough. Let's get into our scraps. And they can vary. They don't have to be. So like I had used a solid green piece that was left over. And you do need to have the longer pieces. And I think I just put all my shorter pieces in this box, except for these guys that were cut apart. Yes, I did. Okay, so we've got this. This is a great one. And a couple more that are great ones is the ones I can get a hold of, and I can't get a hold of them. Oh, let me show you. Well, before we get to cutting the spine, this little sheet here has, we had cut this strategically, if you remember in the beginning, but it has some good little pieces that would work on that front. So we might want to even play with those a little bit. Okay. Now this makes a great one on the spine, and you will have some, you should have some of that one left over. And I'm going to use double on the front of this one. I'm going to use some of this and some of that, but we want 4. So you want 4 pieces that you are going to like to put together. And so let's give this a try. And I'm going to just cut some strips of 3/4 of an inch. And for this one, I'll do 2 of them that are 3/4 of an inch. Now I used the ruler on the other one. This one, I'll turn that over. And we need that. So if you have not cut that, let's not cut it just to avoid some errors because, you know, that could be a disaster. Actually, that could be a big one. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. I'm going to cut over here on this side, so we're okay. I know we don't use those birdies. Okay, so we want to start. We're just going to lay those out. Yeah, go with this one next. Now, you hardly have any space there. You only have about 1/8 of an inch less. And so, using your scoreboard is a great way to line things up because you're going to use these lines. So I'm now using a dark, can you guys see this black line? And if you don't have the Score Pal, then you could also take your ruler and make tick marks at the top and bottom at your 1/8 of an inch. Or you can be brave and just start and go. And that's kind of what I do. So I'm just going to find my first, it's a dotted line here. It's got to be longer though. So I'm doing these 2 outside pieces first. And again, there is only 1/8 of an inch from this edge over, so you could take your pencil and just make your marks. He's doing doggy check. And again, from where that one ends, just do another 1/8 of an inch mark. Use green plaid. Oh, I didn't. Oh, well. I remember this one was just, it's a red piece that you had left over at 3.5. And then you've got the green. And then you're going to have to clean all the glue off of your scoreboard. Okay. Then we're going to just turn that over. We're going to trim that off. And we're going to ink it. Okay, now we're going to put it underneath our tree. So let's open our book. Here we go. And if it fits good and you like it, oh, well, you take good care of that patient, Beth, and I know you're going to, because he just needs some extra TLC tonight and tomorrow and the next day. All right. So I got my glue on there. And this is where I'm going to go that way because that guy gave me a little bit of trouble earlier. And now it's going to give me more trouble because I put glue on here. And last time, actually, my finger's back there holding it up. There we go. Actually, on my sample, I'll show you what I did. I remember I put it back there, but if you put the glue there and hold your finger, you'll be fine. But if for some reason, oh, it looks like everything's going to stick, you would just lift up the paper. But everything's stuck. Boy, I was lucky. Just lift it up and stick your glue tip underneath there. Oh, I know. And I'm thinking, and on camera, of course you're going to get stuck. You know how you get those little glue wads? Glue waddies? There we go. Anyway, now, here's where I took, and we'll do it decorating. I tied the other black twine we have. It hangs down. We'll hang the bells. And then at the top is what's going to hold that together. And, you know, does anybody else have this problem? Tell me it's not just me. If I touch it, I lose it. So I've totally lost my foam stickers, false sheets. No, I didn't. Here we go. Here we go. So but then I took this star and I put him up here. Now, the back. Let's do the back. So, the back was a red plaid. With the green on one side. This was from your 6x8. And I put it there because it was my last one and it looked great there. You may not have that 6x8, so you could leave it plain or just go back through, and like your little Santa could go there. Again, this was just, I did not double mat on the backs. I usually don't double mat the backs, and that's what this one looked like. So we'll cut this, we'll mat it, and then, boy, we did good time again. Then Tuesday we'll come back and we'll get it all finished. Okay. 8 7/8 by 8 7/8. See, it was left, and so I popped it on the back because it just really went well. Have a great evening, Tina. Thanks for joining us. And I know if you're getting excited and you've got those big old bells and you want to get those hung, I wouldn't hang them, because as you're working on your album, it's going to drive you nuts, number one. And I just wouldn't right now. And then your dogs are going to hear it and come and chew up the book, right? No, I would wait and put our hanging bells on the very last thing we do. Oh, well, that'll be an awesome project for when you're down there in Florida. You know, I really do like the warmer weather, but I would go nuts if I left my craft area. Unless I had a store in Florida, then I would be good, but I would go nuts. All right, let's ink these edges of our 6x8 if you have that. If not, you can use one of those ephemera pieces, the bigger ones. And then Tuesday, I'll have some of those cut aparts cut down to show you some more other alternatives on our cover. Because we want to use up all the paper. We didn't want to waste any of this. But you really don't want, I don't heavily decorate the backs because, well, they're the ones that get all the, you know, abuse. It's always the one at the bottom. So, oh, you go every other month. Oh, okay. Okay, we got the inside front. We've got the back. I got a few things to finish before we come back. And again, I need to show you an alternative. But if you have your chipboards, what I did is I put down the chipboard piece. And then I put the Christmas from the foam stickers there. But I will be showing you an alternative from those cut aparts. When we come back together, we will do our Christmas tree. And this will come together a lot quicker if you use a score tape sheet, because we're going to cover the whole top in a score tape sheet. Okay. We'll go through and cut that little piece we saved and finish our decorating, and we are good to go. That little guy, poor thing. I've been beating this book up. And then we are all ready. Now, the numbers too that you have, I don't put my numbers down until I'm ready to do the book, but you definitely could take out like the 24 and put it underneath your tree or for 2024. And that would be cute. Thanks guys for being with me here tonight. And wow, we've just really made some good progress. And we'll get our book all finished on Tuesday. Thanks for watching. And have a great long weekend for those of you that are off. I noticed a lot of you said you had 4-day weekends. Woohoo! That's going to be very nice. Remember, no shipping on Monday with Country Craft Creations. But we really try to get everything out ASAP anyway. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good night.